There is a lot of change happening these days, and no, we're not talking about COVID-19. Let's put that aside and focus on what MKBHD calls Techtember. And I talk about Phonetober. Why? Because I stumbled upon an article I wrote in my blog. A blog is this thing where you write stuff from 2010, 10 years ago. Pretty much like per day, like on the day 10 years ago. And I had to laugh quite loud because I was thinking last week, I wrote in our team Slack that I will focus on the phone for the next weeks and the next month. So Phonetober and Phonetober, especially Phonetober. What does it mean? Simple. I will focus on calling people if needed, having synchronous conversations instead of asynchronous stuff, and using the phone to push things forward. And this article I found from myself that I wrote has the title, "If you want world domination, you should use the phone. For the rest, you can still keep on writing emails." And you guys know that from the older videos that I love the phone, but I also use asynchronous communication during the day and voice messages. But there are certain times of the year, especially in phases of a company, when a company grows fast, which we do at the moment, you need to use the phone because it's more synchronous and more emotional. So I know you watch YouTube because you don't want to read. So this is this article made as YouTube, but MP, you have to show this article because it's, well, I mean, nostalgic. Okay, so I have 10 points in this article I want to work through with you guys. And the inspiration came originally from Richard Branson, who's well known for not writing emails back in the day, but writing letters, which are thought through a lot, and then using the phone. Like I read a book from him, I think 2006 or something, called Losing My Virginity as an entrepreneur. And he described scenes where he was in bed with his phone, pushing things forward. And this is a picture I have in my mind. So, number one, the phone is faster.
Let's go. All right, fine. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hello, this is Dwight Schrute from the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company.
Wow, that's great, because I need paper.
If you are the one who wants to push things forward, making the phone call is much faster because you can quickly discuss, get the point, and then make your point, and then delegate to someone or get a feedback right away, and the thing is solved. There's no discussion. Even if you like other tools, the phone is faster, especially if there are complex topics. Number two, the more emails you write, the more emails you will receive. The same is true for WhatsApp messages, Slack messages, and so on. And it's really sad that actually Slack counts the amount of messages, and I'm always the first one in our company saying, oh, I wrote the most messages. It's actually not a good thing. So, reminder to myself, don't write too many messages. Focus on getting shit done. Number three, emails, oh, that's hard to translate. Emails causing a lot of hectic and stress that is usually not necessary. Why is that? So here's an experience, and that is definitely also true for ourselves. There are a lot of misunderstandings in written text. It's hard for us to read between the lines. It's difficult to make a decision if this email is worth it to interrupt your work, especially if you have notifiers on. Same is true for a Slack message. And people start to then move forward. And why is that? We all take different things in different levels of importance and priority. So in the old days, the secretary had to come and enter the meeting and hand you in a paper to get interrupted. Here's a phone call coming, I need to take this. Hello. This is the old Elbtunnel. I never walked through it, and it's quite exciting because there is an elevator for the car. You drive in, drive down, and then the car drives through, and you have the same as a pedestrian. Okay, so let's continue the journey with a little bit of Hamburg history. Okay, number 4. The auto notifier is worse than Facebook, and I wrote that already 10 years ago. That's crazy. And this is true because when you see an autoresponder or a notification from a Slack message or an email, you have the feeling this is just for me, and it's so hard to stay back and not be tempted to look at it. So this is really, really bad. So turn that thing off. I mean, this is no notification rule. That's very, very clear. That's a good one. Number 5. CC is politics and not work. So if you CC people, you're actually doing politics instead of collaborating because you're not focusing on getting things done. I would say this is true in some ways, but if you use CC for collaboration, as we shared it in the Steve Jobs video, if you do it the right way, we should link it here, then it's okay. Ooh, I love that one. I just used this one a couple of minutes ago. Phones have a switch off button, and emails just an autoresponder. So while the email is off, you can still receive mails, but a phone, scary. But a phone, you can actually switch it off and you're off. I love that. And I have the example in here from Tim Ferriss for our work week, that he only responds emails between 8 and 12. No, he's only checking emails between 8 and 12. And this is 10 years ago, and I now have an autoresponder that I don't check emails at all frequently. So it took me 10 years to get this thing done. Number 7, I love it. You can scream through the telephone. And I wrote, you can actually get an idea. Whoever is on the other side is reacting and responding and like what his or her mood is. So cool. This is really nice. What a beautiful tunnel. So, not everyone is Goethe, not everyone is good in writing, not everyone is Stephen King in writing emails. I always said that when we have meetings. And the thing is true, I just had a phone call, 2 phone calls this morning, very emotional ones. And having that on the phone was so important in terms of like getting the reaction, getting an idea what my phone partner is thinking, instead of writing it down, putting it out there, and not being clear and sure enough like how the other side is reacting and thinking of it. So you can scream through the phone. Love that. Ha! And I found a mistake. It's not 10 points, it's actually 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I missed number 8. So after 7, there's number 9. So it's 9 points. The phone is a focus tool. If you are on the phone, you're focusing on one thing. It's so hard to do something on the side when you're on the phone. I just had my phone here and I was just on the phone and talk. And I mean, it's clearly, you do one thing and one thing only. If you're doing emails, you usually do something on the side, browsing. Number 10, Big Brother is an email junkie. So if you really are concerned about data privacy, there is this mafia guy from New York who was actually never convicted because he never took any notes or anything. He kept everything in his mind. If you're really concerned about data privacy, the phone is a much better tool than taking out a lot of data on WhatsApp or Facebook. That's definitely for sure. In the right time, the phone can be the right tool. So there are certain times when email or Slack is better than the phone. And this theory is very interesting in saying, I just have one preferred tool instead of saying, I have a tool for the right time when it's needed. And this is true for leadership as well. There are examples of tribes who have a different leader in war times than in peace times. And for example, Indian tribes who have women, a female leader in peace times and a male leader in war times. So why not using the phone in times when you really have to push things forward fast, and you give your team a short notice, and using mails and the other tools in times when everything is quite calm. So that's why I think Phone-tober is the right idea. So let's see if there's maybe a new telephone, a new smartphone that I will use during Phone-tober. MP is already very excited about that because he thinks he knows already what I will do. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe and watch another video here. And we now enjoy this beautiful walk.